Alright, so Rick and Morty Season 6, Episode 2 came out about an hour ago, and here are my thoughts on it. But before I do that, this is the synopsis for this episode. Morty is trapped, and Rick needs to save him. But to do so, Summer must do a Die Hard, and this won't be easy because Summer has never seen Die Hard. And also, Morty is trapped in this, video game thing as well. Let's get into the good parts of this episode. I do like, the Summer side B plot that they were doing, where Summer is pretty much having to fight these people throughout the episode. And I thought the way they did it was actually pretty good. In terms of the Rick and Morty video game thing, I genuinely did not care about it. And at first I was kind of open to this idea for the episode, but by the end of the episode, or the final 5 to 10 minutes, I genuinely stopped caring until after, Summer does what she has to do, and Rick and Morty eventually wake up from being in the video game. The episode also pretty much just rehashes the ongoing Rick and Morty love-hate relationship in a certain scene, and I literally rolled my eyes during that scene because we've seen it so many times in the past 6 seasons or 5 seasons or whatever, where it's like, oh, Rick is using me, and all that type of stuff. And then we find out, oh wait, Rick might actually care about Morty somewhere in that cold-hearted man. There's someone in there that cares about Morty, but we've seen this a bunch of times. So for that part, I didn't really care. And like I said before, the Morty stuff with Morty talking to Morty, and then the religious stuff where it's it's not a cult or a religion, but people keep saying it. Once again, at first it was funny, but when they do it for the 30th time during the episode, you just kind of get sick of it, and you really just don't care after the 20th time. It's just not as funny as it was the first time. So there really weren't many jokes, or there wasn't a variety of jokes in this episode. But I did like the jokes when Summer was, making fun of Die Hard, or she didn't really understand it and she was ignorant. And first of all, she's 17. At that age, it's really hard to watch every single movie that came out in the 80s, 90s, 70s, 2000s. That's a lot for a 17-year-old while having to deal with schoolwork. And if you couldn't tell, I obviously didn't like this episode. Once again, do I think this is the worst Rick and Morty episode? No. But I think the reason why I don't like this episode is mostly just because the first episode, like I said in my last week's video, was actually really good. I was amused by the episode. I thought it was a decent episode. It was a pretty good opener. Probably one of the better openers of Rick and Morty. But they set up a lot of things that could affect multiple seasons for Rick and Morty. And for them to go from that to Morty being multiple NPCs in a video game really just doesn't sit right with me, And you know what? Maybe I just don't get this episode. Maybe the Rick and Morty fans will have a, entire essay explaining why I don't understand this episode. And if you do, let me know. Maybe I just didn't get the episode. But I just didn't like it. I don't like, how this last episode was really great. And then this episode's about a bunch of NPCs. And I want a tonal thing. I want the season to have a tone. Because what they set up in the first episode, I thought, oh, maybe the rest of the season is going to be like this. But no. And maybe, the writers or directors just wanted to have a bit of fun before the storm. Hopefully I'm right on that. But I hope this season isn't just a conflicting of tones of what it wants to be.